Hello, and welcome back to Hitman. And in this series we will go back to where it all started, and this time round we will focus on completing as many of the challenges as we can on each and every one of the primary Hitman targets, with maybe a few interesting bonus kills on the way. Today we are in Mumbai for the Suspension is Murder challenge, which entails eliminating both Dawood, Rangan and the Maelstrom with a large concrete pipe. So for this challenge we will be starting at the train location, and we will be bringing with us some coins and our ever trusty lockpick. Everything else is available on the map. And with all of that said, let's get reacquainted with our target.
Wazir Kale, an infamous South China Sea pirate better known by his nom de guerre, the Maelstrom, and Dawood Rangan, the gang's old cashier turned dodgy movie producer.
So, right from the start and off the bat, the first thing we need to do is very quickly get rid of Vanya Shah, so that we can have her out of the equation. So we're going to make our way over to the train yard, and we're going to lockpick our way through the green shipping container and make our way up to the train tracks using the bushes for cover to avoid the camera and possibly the young lady stood underneath it having a cigarette. She wasn't here today. So once we're through the bushes, we can approach the second green shipping container, lockpick our way through and into the train yard. And in here we will find ourselves a train car which is red, and it is the security car with one security guard in attendance. So once he has his back to us, he will either sit down, stand at some files or take a drink. Those are his 3 points in his routine. He is currently, as you can see, sitting down, so his next port of call will be to take a drink, and when he does we can then get behind him and render him unconscious. So he's about to stand up now, and he will approach the crate at the back of the train car. There he goes. That gives us the opportunity to sneak up behind him. We're going to render him unconscious, and we're going to leave his body right there. We're then going to make our way through the far door of the train car, where we will exit out into some bushes and Vanya Shah's private little meditation pool area. So once Vanya Shah arrives, we can then drown her in the pool. And while we're doing that, we get to view ourselves this cute little kitten.
Confirmed kill on Vanya Shah. Excellent work, 47. No rest for the wicked, however. On to the next one.
So with Vanya Shah now out of the way, we can get on with the challenge. And for this challenge we will require the Kashmirian's, not so much his outfit, but he is carrying a laptop dongle or a USB drive, and we require that item. So we're just going to sneakily retrace our steps back out of the train yard area, and we are going to head around the edge of the map past the junkyard and the harbour or the boat area. And we're heading for the Maelstrom, but we are going to do a little bit of setup before we get to him. So what we're going to do is, once we get to the construction area of Rangan Tower, we're going to make our way into the Rangan Tower complex, and we are going to get rid of a couple of guards nice and quietly. So once we approach the boathouse just here on our right, make sure that the guard who goes for a cigarette is not currently having his cigarette, otherwise you'll have to go around the back of the boathouse. So we're going to make our way straight onto the construction site and the barge here. And we're just going to wait by these barrels for this conversation here to play out before we move on to the main land where Rangan Tower is located. And once there, we're going to sneak our way around to the green shipping container that you can see high above at the top of the screen, 47's head. You can also see that Vanya Shah has just been found, so her body will now be cleaned up, but it doesn't affect us because it was an accident kill in which we got to see some kittens. So the conversation has now finished. We're just going to wait for the guard to eventually turn around. There we go. And we can scoot past them up onto the mainland and around to our left using all of the items here for cover. We're going to approach the green shipping container and vault our way up and over it. And at the end of the shipping container, just off to our left, was one of the guards we wish to remove, but we're going to make our way past the red shipping container and collect the hammer we require here. And once we have that, we can render the guard unconscious. We're going to hide him in the green shipping container. Get used to this shipping container, we will be back here again. So once we have our guard safely tucked away, we're going to approach the fence leading back to the main square area. And as you can see, there is a guard outside. He's guarding the exit to Rangan Tower, or the entrance. And we are going to throw our hammer against the fence there to get his attention. And when he comes in to investigate, we can rinse and repeat our rendering unconscious of the guards with our hammer. So he's just stopped at the gate briefly, but once he makes his way safely inside, we can then render him unconscious. We're going to hide his body behind the truck that is just to our right here. So there we go, that should be about enough. So that's all of the setup we need taken care of. We can now exit the construction site, make our way directly over to the slums and introduce ourselves to the Kashmirian. So what we're going to do basically is make our way into the slums, render the Kashmirian unconscious and take his USB drive. So into the slums, up to the attic area, the third floor. It's the only bit of third floor there is. And once up here, we're going to once again utilize our very, very handy hammer. And we are going to render the Kashmirian unconscious. There we go. We're going to drag his body away from the edge as well. So don't forget to collect his USB drive. At this point you can take his outfit, which I am going to do because I'm not entirely sure whether the phone will allow me to make the call in any other outfit. Do let me know if it is possible in the comments below. But once we have the Kashmirian's USB drive and his outfit, we're going to approach the apartment that the Kashmirian is in. And in the apartment we will find a laptop, and we are going to investigate said laptop, which will give us lots of information.
Get this. Information on the Kashmirian's laptop indicates that Dawood Rangan hired him to kill Vanya Shah. Well, with her already eliminated, perhaps you should call Rangan and let him know the contract is fulfilled.
What a good idea, Diana. So we're going to exit the Kashmirian's apartment via the rear door, vault over the balcony and slide down the drain pipe to the ground floor. And there are two phone boxes outside two of the entrances, and we are going to use one of them to call Rangan.
Rangan speaking. The queen has been toppled.
Oh,
I understand. Good. I will need to make some arrangements then. I'll transfer the rest of the money to you as we agreed. I can also handle cash. Maybe a quick exchange? No, I cannot risk being seen with you before I... Well, I need to talk to someone first. Regardless, you did your job, and that is that. You will get your money. Now, if you'll excuse me.
I can't believe it.
47? Rangan is making another call. That voice. He's talking to the Maelstrom. Hang on. They're meeting up near Rangan's tower. There's a barge near a big crane. This is your chance, 47.
So once we have made our phone call, we can then retrace our steps back to Rangan Tower and back to the shipping container where we have our guard resting peacefully. And at the back of the room we will find a control panel for the crane, and we are going to move said crane out onto the over the barge area. Now we want to get this lined up just right, so we want to go a little bit further than that, I think. Oh, actually no, that might just do perfectly. So all we have to do now is wait for Dawood, Rangan and Wazir, Kale, aka the Maelstrom, to arrive. And Dawood will arrive from the bottom of the screen, and Wazir, Kale will arrive from the top. And once they are both under the pipe, we can then drop it on their heads before the guards get in position.
47, Rangan is meeting someone on a barge near the tower. I believe it's... Yes, it's the Maelstrom, 47. Now's your shot. Showing off again, 47. Dawood, Rangan and Wazir Kale, the Maelstrom, confirmed dead. Excellent work. Mission completed. Time to find an exit.
So once you've dropped the pipe on their heads, that will get you the suspension is murder challenge, and we just so happen to have 2 coins left, and this cab driver will take us home for 2 coins. So there we go, one more challenge taken care of. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.